If I were a WWE or NXT superstar, I'd be sending out my resume immediately. I'm Chris Wolvie, the wrestling blogger who always tells it like it is. Once again, the penny pinching of the WWE has led to a mass amount of releases. And the group release last week was the biggest number to date. 18 superstars have been cut from Raw, SmackDown, and mostly from NXT. The two biggest names, both literally and figuratively, were Keith, then Bearcat, then Keith Bearcat Lee, and Nia Jax. Now, Jax I can probably understand. I mean, it seems that once you put yourself in the WWE Women's Tag picture, your days are numbered in the WWE. Just ask the Iconics about that. Some claimed it was because she refused to vaccinate for COVID-19, but she made a public statement and said she just wanted more time to fight her depression, and obviously the WWE didn't want that. But Keith Lee, I can't grok. Yeah, he didn't do much in the Thunderdome, but he was making a comeback. Hell, they even had a vignette of the Bearcat saying that he was coming soon. I understand that he wasn't improving like they had hoped after being both NXT and North American champ, but they must have had some hope for him before they future endeavored him. Some of the other names I can understand. The Lucha House Party has run its course. Only Lorcan is nothing without Birch. Scarlett hasn't been on scene since Karrion Kross left NXT. Mia Yim has only been seen on Main Event and 205 Live since Retribution broke up. And I guess the British Bulldog Jr., Harry Smith, wasn't cutting the mustard. Oh, and I was more shocked that Eva Marie actually came back than I was that she was released. Evolution, my ass. But Karrion Kross was just getting his footing. Was his new get-up just too ridiculous to maintain? B-Fab had just literally joined the rest of Hit Row on SmackDown, so why was she the only one sent packing? Ember Moon wasn't pulling her weight on Raw, so she went back to NXT. Was winning the NXT Women's Tag titles mere hours after the title was created not enough? And Frankie Monet had a good entry into the NXT. Why didn't they keep it up and give her a chance? Okay, look, I get it. The pandemic hurt all sports and entertainment in the U.S. and around the world, and it hurt a lot of businesses. And a business that relies mostly on live ticket sales is not going to go 15 months with zero paying fans and not take a serious financial hit. Sorry, why else would they make a deal with NBC Universal to move the WWE network to the Peacock network? That was the only thing that was keeping their headquarters above water. But without new talent coming in every now and then and giving a chance to show what they can do and cannot do in the long haul, the WWE is leaning towards becoming what WCW, TNA, and from the looks of things, AEW were and are. A seniors tour with only veterans around. And as I said before, nostalgia can only go so far. So who's to blame for there being a total of 59 releases of talent from the WWE in 2021 alone? Who cut off enough talent to form their own wrestling federation out of spite? Is it Vince McMahon? Maybe in part, but I think even he knows that he's becoming too senile to lead by example nowadays. Triple H and Stephanie McMahon? Not too likely, given how they seem to be demoted thanks to losing the Wednesday Night Wars with AEW. No, there seems to be just one person to truly point a finger at for the loss of so much talent this year. Khan! As in Nick Khan, President and Chief Revenue Officer of the WWE since August of last year. Sorry, just as the birds were leaving the nest of the Performance Center and entering the Thunderdome, Khan was hired from a sports agency that represented the WWE, among others big sports companies like the NCAA's Southeastern Conference and Top Rank Boxing. Plus, he's also an actor whose most famous work, if you want to call it that, was performing stunts in the recent Marvel Cinematic Universe film Eternals. Now, granted, he did keep the peace between NBC Universal and Fox Disney when it came down to Raw and SmackDown. But don't you think it's strange that a combination of Arliss and Clint Howard is now second only to Vince McMahon in how to run the WWE? And that his idea for keeping things afloat is A, to beg NBC to absorb WWE Network into their streaming service, and B, to kick out a bunch of big names and a lot of not so big names to trim the overall salary? More to the point, was it him who came up with the idea to have WrestleMania 38 in Dallas as a 2-day event? The last time WrestleMania was at AT&T Stadium, over 100,000 fans, WrestleMania record, mind you, packed the place. Is Khan think the only thing that can get the WWE back into raking in the moolah is to try to sell overpriced tickets to over 2,000 people? You know, what I truly worry about is that in the long run this plan actually works. That the WWE Universe is still so loyal that they will buy into everything Khan throws at them, and that the WWE becomes so profitable again that AEW will either fold or be bought up by the WWE by the end of the decade, thus leaving the WWE without a viable foe in the business and losing fans like they did once WCW was bought up. I don't know, maybe I'm crazy for thinking that, but all I know is that if I were in the WWE right now, I'd keep my accomplishments up to date and ready to send to AEW, Ring of Honor, or any other federation out there, because you just never know when I will have to confront the financial wrath of Khan. I'm Chris Wolvie, the Wrestling Blog, who always tells it like it is. Stay safe, and I'll see you